Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Metro Detroiters are on the move. New census numbers showing people leaving Detroit proper and moving into the suburbs in those counties that used to not have very many people. Coming up, which cities and which counties saw the biggest gains?
I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. And we are tracking trash, going after illegal dumpers. And I'm going to show you what was done to help clean up one Detroit neighborhood.
He's the accused ringleader of the plot against Governor Whitmer, but in new court documents, his defense team says it wasn't his idea at all. Adam Fox says he was set up.
He says it was the FBI's paid informants hatching the plot to kidnap and possibly harm Governor Whitmer. Local 4 defender Sean Lay obtained the documents in which Fox says those ideas were planted in his head and the heads of others. Sean.
And Karen, good evening. Let's get right to it. These are explosive documents. And look, the law is clear here. An undercover informant can only observe and report, not come up with ideas and encourage others to commit crimes. But check this out. Adam Fox says that's exactly what's happened here. The Local 4 defenders first told you the men charged in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer say the men who trained them the entire time were undercover FBI agents. Now, a new court filing obtained by the defenders, filed by so-called ringleader Adam Fox, says paid FBI informants were also the ones to come up with the plan to kidnap the governor and attack her summer home. Not only that, Adam Fox says the informants were predatory in how they infiltrated their group and constantly contacted them and encouraged them to launch a violent attack. Informants coming up with plans and encouraging plans is illegal. Fox is arguing the feds entrapped him, especially by a paid informant known as Big Dan. When Fox said he really didn't know what to do, he says Big Dan told him to open fire on the governor's summer home to send a message. Blank place up north, send a blank through the window. Fox is fighting for the informant's text messages and laptops that federal prosecutors so far will not give up. Fox says they'll see that the FBI and informants led the entire way with ideas, with training, and constant encouragement. So far, prosecutors have not responded to Adam Fox's request or have been ordered to give up what could be explosive information. Back here live, another thing jumps right out at you in this new court filing, and that's Fox's allegation that one of the undercover informants told him to go with this plan to other groups in other states to attack other governors. We called Fox's attorney. We called the U.S. attorney in the Western District. They have not called us back tonight. We're live tonight. Sean Lane, Local 4 News Defenders.
Some interesting developments there. All right. Thank you, Sean.
State of Michigan hits a somber milestone today in the fight against the coronavirus. State reports 3,127 new cases and 29 deaths in the last 48 hours. The death numbers pushes the state's total. More than 20,000 Michiganders lost from COVID-19. In more headlines, the state's Health and Human Services Department updated guidance for masks in schools. They say districts should have mask mandates for everyone indoors, regardless of vaccination status. And the CDC's vaccine advisory panel has voted in favor of allowing immune-compromised people to get a third dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Late last night, the FDA expanded the emergency use authorization for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines.
Andrew's been watching some storm activity this past hour.
Yeah, let's check in with him on that and look at how this evening is shaping up too, Andrew.
And Kimberly and Karen, I'm looking at good news in the weather department when it comes to that severe weather. It did occur earlier when you joined us at 4 and 5 o'clock. It is now leaving, moving over parts of Lake Erie. Northwest Ohio still getting some significant downpour activity and some thunderstorms. But for Detroit and rest of southeast Michigan, it is getting calmer. And in some places clearer. We've got some sunshine coming back down to earth in some parts of the area. Mostly cloudy over downtown Detroit for now. Temperatures are in the low 80s, 82 degrees, but look at the heat index. It is much lower than the past few days, nowhere near 90 degrees, more like 84, only 2 degrees higher than the actual temperature. And those dew points are coming down as well. Same thing is being felt throughout the rest of southeast Michigan. It's now in the 70s, 79 degrees in Lapeer, 79 also in Howell, and the heat index close to that temperature by just 1 or 2 degrees. So relief is slowly pouring in. We have events here in downtown Detroit and elsewhere in southeast Michigan. We We got the Lions game that starts at 7 o'clock. Lions taking on Buffalo with temperatures that slip into the low 70s by the end of the game, and clearing skies throughout outside the stadium. Same thing for the baseball game here in downtown Detroit and the comedy show with Dave Chappelle over here in downtown Detroit as well. Now, what occurs later tonight? Sure, it gets cooler, but is there any more rain in store for this weekend? We'll talk about that and your 7-day forecast in just moments. Now remember, you can track temperatures, Storm Tracker 4, anything weather-wise here in Detroit, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world with the Local Forecasters app. So download it now. It's key for your weekend, especially if you're on the go, and it's free. Search WDIV in your app store.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Well, the wait for the power to come back on could extend into next week for some Metro Detroiters. Here's a look at where things stand this evening. DTE says more than 225,000 of its customers remain without power. They're saying 95% of people who lost power should have it back on by Sunday. DTE tells us they've got 2,800 line workers out in the field pulling 16-hour shifts today. And losing power forces people to adapt and improvise, and there's a whole lot of that going on at a local dairy farm where there's more than 100 cows that need some milking. Tim Pamplin rolled up his sleeves and headed out to Ortonville to see if the folks at Cook's Farm needed any help.
Well, there's no juice in those power lines. No, the only thing keeping this farm hanging on is this, a generator hooked up to the back of a tractor, which seems entirely appropriate.
We've been running the tractor for about 56 hours now.
That tractor running at high revs, turning the generator, running the power, that then goes back onto the farm. Cook's Farm Dairy, a family favorite. Generations have brought youngsters out here to check out the cows. They have over 100 cows here that need regular milking. Farmer Quentin Cook tells me when the power goes out, they need to act very quickly.
Some of our cows are getting milked 3 or 4 times a day, and so they could get sick if we don't milk the cows.
And when you consider the milking here is done by robot, that requires electricity, it's a high-stakes battle.
But we rely on that generator off the tractor's PTO very, very much.
And they say if that tractor fails, they go old school.
Whether that's a bucket and a pail by hand or calling in someone else that might have a bigger, better generator.
But for now, the farm is hanging on, producing its dairy products from moo to you. Quentin tells me it's all par for the course down on the farm.
You just got to deal with it and move on and change your game plan by the hour, really, here on the farm.
So back out in the barn here, Clarkston families, there's a Theo and Josie there, getting up close and personal with nature. DTE's now reporting that this farm should have power back by Monday night. It's going to be a long weekend watching that tractor. That's for Steve in Ortonville this afternoon. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Never thought about the dairy farmers in this one, I have to admit.
But what a way to improvise,
I know.
right?
Giving them credit. Well, there is a buzz going on around downtown Detroit tonight.
Yeah, it really is. The Tigers are back home with Miguel Cabrera, 1 home run short of 500. Certainly a good night to have your outfield seats and bring your glove if you do.
But that's not all. It is also the first chance for Lions fans to see if the team's on-field play can live up to that intensity of their new head coach. Jamie Edmonds live downtown with a preview of both big events. Hey, Jamie.
Hey there, Karen, Kimberly, you're right. And it's the first time Lions fans have been in this building in a whole season. Now, there's a great atmosphere down here, especially right here between the two stadiums. There's music, there's food trucks, there's games for the kids, there's a zip line just over there. And I'm telling you, people are coming down and really enjoying it. Talk about the Lions. It's a preseason game against the Bills. First as head coach for Dan Campbell, and you know the kind of energy he's going to bring. Minimal work, of course, from the starters. It's just a preseason game, but a chance for these fans to get a look at these new-look Lions. As for the Tigers, right over here, hosting the Indians, first game of 3. Everyone talking about Miguel Cabrera. Here he is on Wednesday in Baltimore in the 5th inning. He had a home run, number 499 off of Matt Harvey. Miggy didn't play last night, but he's back in the lineup tonight. And can you imagine the reaction if he can hit number 500 in front of the home fans? Back here live, if he hits it tonight or really any night, he will become the 28th player in MLB history and first Venezuelan player to reach 500. I know fans here have told me they hope he can do it tonight. I talked to one fan who says if he catches that ball, he's going to give it to Miggy. It's just the right thing to do. Much more coming up in sports on both these games. For now, live tonight, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
Yeah. All right. We'll be looking forward to your report at 11. Jamie, thank you. Meanwhile, we are getting a better look at what the new census data means for Metro Detroit. Yes, Detroit's population is declining, but when people leave, they go somewhere, and Detroit's losses, other places gain. Our Grant Herms is here with more. And Grant, kind of tell us what these numbers show us.
Well, they mean a few things. First of all, they show us where people are living, where families are moving to, where they're moving from. They also show us our new makeup of our neighborhoods, showing us a new face, if you will, of Michigan. Metro Detroit on the move. The new census data is showing the exodus from Detroit continuing. The Motor City losing 6% of its population, bringing the number of people living in Wayne County down as well. In a statement, the county calling it a win, where the rate of people leaving slowed in the past 10 years. Writing in a statement, the rate of decline is a marked improvement from a decade ago. There is much work that needs to be done, especially for residents who have yet to share in the region's resurgence. But the counties around Detroit are growing, some of the fastest in the state. Oakland County up by 6%, Livingston up by 7.1%, and Washtenaw a whopping 8%. Experts say the moves come from families moving out of more densely populated urban areas to suburban neighborhoods with parks and schools. While young professionals continue to move into cities like Detroit, it hasn't been enough to stop the fleeing. Detroit losing population for the last 70 years. Michigan overall becoming less white and black. Both sets of the population decreasing while the number of Hispanic Michiganders is on the rise. Those changes also mean changes to surrounding metro counties, which are still predominantly white but saw an increase of diversity right along with their population. Now, there are still big concerns about undercounting, especially here in Detroit, where the response rate was about 51%. Even the Census Bureau telling data scientists that they should expect unexpected differences in the count when it comes to communities of color. Back to you.
Really interesting numbers, Grant. I know Mayor Duggan had some pretty harsh words the other day for the Census Bureau. Has there been any movement, heard anything about that?
So nothing legal, no potential lawsuit or anything like that, but he did say that the Census Bureau is going to have to explain itself when it comes to the numbers here in Detroit. It's certainly something that we'll be watching.
Yeah, really low response rate in Detroit as well. Okay, Grant, thanks a lot.
Well, it is the moment a local family has waited for since the Korean War.
Hear from the brother of a fallen soldier from Highland Park who was finally buried today. Plus, police in one local community end up chasing one of their own vehicles after somebody steals it. The driver decided to stop on his own. We'll show you where.